Hello again YouTube, NESComplex here, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite websites, and that is thecoverproject.net. What's great about this site is it allows you to take all of your retro games, your NES games, Super Nintendo games, Genesis games, Nintendo 64 games, and even your Game Boy Advance games, and to be able to case them up so they look really great on a shelf. In this video, I'm going to show you how to print up the inserts of the box art. I'm going to show you how to modify the game cases for the NES titles, which don't standardly fit, and I'll also show you where to get the cases to do this.
The first thing you're going to need to do is just go to the coverproject.net website. When you get there, you'll see along the left-hand side a list of all the systems that are supported. I'm going to look at the NES section, and I'll go to Mega Man 1. And even under Mega Man 1, you'll see that there's a lot of different choices. There's the standard case with the awesome box art, and then there's custom cases that people have designed to maybe try to improve upon greatness. Once you've downloaded the file, you're going to have to open it and print it. I personally like to open it up in Paint, and then I go to Page Setup and I make a few changes. First of all, I change the paper size to legal, 8.5 by 14, which by the way you're going to have to buy. I change it to landscape, and then I have to change the margins to 0.5 in all 4 boxes. Once it's printed, I use a standard paper cutter, the kind you might find at any craft store such as Michael's, just to trim off the edges so that it'll be ready to put in the case. But before we do that, we have to get the cases in the first place. To do this, I usually order from a place called mediashelving.com. The price is ridiculously low, considering you get 100 cases for $42. That's 42 cents per case. To shelve Game Boy Advance games, however, you're going to have to order DS cases. I ordered mine from Nintendo.com, and I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be supporting DS cases, so if you're interested in shelving your Game Boy Advance games, I suggest you get them very soon. When using universal game cases for Genesis games or Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64 games or even Atari 2600 games, you don't need to make any modifications on the cases. But if you want to use them for NES games, there's quite a bit of modification and it's kind of annoying. The first thing you want to do is to go to a hardware store like Home Depot and get yourself some end trimmers or end nippers. And these things are basically two blades that face each other, and when you clamp down, it bites almost like teeth, and it'll sever the plastic that you're trying to cut off. On a universal game case, there are several areas you need to trim off. In fact, there's only 4 areas you want to keep. One at the top and bottom that will hold the game in place, and then 2 other areas on the sides that allow the case to clip shut. Now let me be honest with you, I absolutely dread clipping these things off for NES games. When you have hundreds of games and you want to case them all, this could take quite a while, and each one is kind of a pain in the butt. To make matters worse, once you're done trimming everything off, there's little bits of jagged plastic that could potentially scrape up the back of your games. Now, I'm sure there are many ways to deal with this problem, but the easiest way that I found was to take some cardstock and to cut it into squares that fit snugly in the universal game case. Once you finally insert the cover into the game case, it looks awesome. These are the actual retail boxes that have been scanned. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't actually afford to have a collection of boxed games. So this is the next best thing. I get to look at the box, I get to read it, I get to feel as if I'm in the store as a kid once again, trying to decide if I want to buy the game. And that is awesome. Of course, putting your games in cases like this will also have a protective quality. The contacts are less likely to collect dust and moisture, and the labels are less likely to fade due to light damage. Plus, having shelves full of these games, it really makes your old collection feel like a library. Now, all of that said, there are a few drawbacks to doing this. First of all, it's going to cost you some money. The cases cost money. Ink in your printer is going to cost money. It's also going to take a lot of time. Time to download the covers and print them and cut them out and insert them and wait for the cases. One of the biggest drawbacks is that not every game is currently in the system. And while coverproject.net is updated on a very regular basis, in order to get every game, they depend on people like you and I who happen to have the actual boxes to send in raw scans that could be turned into game case covers.
I hope you found this tutorial informational and interesting, and maybe it helped you decide whether or not you want to do this for yourself. Till next time.